That's cool.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Star Trek Discovery Commentary featuring PJ and Starfleet Boy.
Yo! I probably sound better now.
Yes, I guess. It's all good. We'll be talking about the war without, comma, the war within. Or its original title, which was War, What Is It Good For? And
War, what is it good for?
I can't remember this episode.
I can't either.
I can't remember it. I remember before I watched the last one, episode 13. I remember it was the whole fight thing with Giorgio and Burnham, and it was. That's a memorable episode, but for some reason, I can't think of what happens in this one. I really don't know. So we got it queued up at the previously on, and we're gonna do a 3-second countdown.
3 seconds. All right, I am ready for the count.
3, 2, 1, go.
Nice. It's playing. Oh, there was a delay. Shit.
Oh, my man, there was a slight delay in mine too.
Okay, I'll do the lines. Oh, we're starting again?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Into a shell. Wah! We grab. I do not know where your Volk ends and our Tyler begins.
Only my hands can.
Only my hands can tend to him. Ah! You're a little ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna quick pause.
Quick pause, right?
Yeah, there you
I'll
go.
keep saying the lines. She's a ghost. Ugh. Ah, there's the scream you hate. It is a TIE fighter. Now I can't unhear that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Get out of there now.
Giorgio, close up.
Yeah.
Close up on Burnham. Close up on Giorgio.
Yep.
Reactor
if we
core,
blow.
pure mycelium.
Energy, yeah. Dive in, you lead us home. It's bifurcating. No, he didn't say it this time, did he? 9 months.
Okay, we're pretty much in sync now.
Cool.
I'm at 1 minute 11, 1 minute 12,
13.
13. We're good?
Yep, 17, 18.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfection. Captain. Emperor, motherfucker.
I wish she had said it.
That would have been the perfect time.
Why wouldn't they use
the F word?
Yes, like that should have been 100%.
I would punch anybody who would have complained about the use of the F word in that moment. No, I'm joking, but yeah.
Hey, geek.
Blue and Geek are here.
Nice. It's nice to have folks watching along live. Did you guys have a live audience with Sean?
No, because I tweeted it. And whenever I tweet something, everybody's like...
No, it's because Sean's unpopular. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. He'll never hear this. Treason, do you understand? That guy's cute. He'll probably die. Anyone I think is cute on Star Trek dies.
Anybody who's your fictional husband?
Yeah, they always die on Star Trek. He's so
trying
pissed.
to make excuses now. She knows, like, she kind of acknowledges, like, yeah, I know this, whatever I just did wasn't wise. And she's trying to, like, reason with herself and him.
This is one of the times where I can forgive her because it was impulsive. Like, it's in the moment, in the heat, like in the heat. But,
yeah, I had no problem that she did it. I mean...
Yeah, me neither.
I wish they would have done more with the Giorgio character instead of making her so, I don't know, catty and kind of like... she even at one point in season 2 was like being bitchy whilst eating an apple, and I was like, that's such a cliche with douchebags in movies and TV shows. Like,
it must be fun for Michelle Yeoh and I think she said something to that effect on the Star Trek official podcast.
You can tell she's loving it. That's the only thing I can get out of that is that even though
she's having fun, yeah. But you
And I
know,
think some of the
people
dialogue
still
she's given is just it's too flamboyant. It's too poetic for its own good, really. Like when really she just needs to say like the things she needs to say, as opposed to
like I'm emperor motherfucker. Like that's what those are the lines she should have been saying. Like,
mm,
but she said that people still approach her and tell her that they love how much they love Captain Giorgio, which is really cool. So you could tell there's like a demand for that like character, you know.
it's interesting that they kill off a lot of characters that you end up loving, like
More than the characters that survived. Is that what you're just
I don't know,
saying?
in some cases. No, well, they don't do
No,
it a lot. They
I
don't do it a lot. I mean,
I love all these guys. Like, I'm actually hooked on Star Trek Discovery. I know it's not a perfect show, but like after season 3, I'm like, let's ride this. Let's go as far as they want to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm into it.
in retrospect, I think Culber's death was useless. You could have easily put a lower doctor in there, or like somebody character you didn't really know or wasn't a part of the main crew, or a nurse. It still would have been like kind of gratuitous, I guess. I don't know. Like, I guess they needed some point where Tyler snapped and killed somebody, I guess. But the fact that it was Culber, and it's like, hey, we were just getting to know this guy. They're like, don't worry, we'll find a way to figure out a way to get him back. We'll put a little spark on Tilly's shoulder and put you to bed and say goodnight. And we'll figure it out in season 2.
Mr. Saru. Thanks for the save. Oh, I'm not. That was already happened. I'm not in line. I'm in sync, but I'll try to be. I can access memories. There's a disconnect, like a I can't. I can't do it. Do you also see Shazad just stare at Shazad Latif's chin ever since Braxton came on that? Oh, here's Braxton, by the way. That's so funny. I hope he heard me. Braxton, ever since you said that about his chin, I keep seeing his chin. Thanks for saying hello, Braxton. That's funny. You came in at the right time. I was just talking about you. Cracked his bones open.
Oh God! I don't buy anything that has to do with Fox transformation into Tyler. I'm just like, no.
Oh yeah, he's like talking about shaving the tips of the.
Ugh.
It doesn't. It is
It's
a
so
little
stupid.
crazy.
It's so nonsensical, and nobody. I dare anybody to explain it to me in any kind of coherent way.
It's being explained. It's just not. Yeah, it's gross.
Coherently.
It's just really. Yeah, it's just gross. Yeah.
It's literally like they shaved down his fingers and his organs and shit. Like they crushed his bones. It's as far-fetched as it is. It would have been more believable to say that there was a mind transfer.
Geek in Review. Braxton tuned in just in time. Geek in Review. I think that Stamets started being less of a dick when he first jumped because the mycelial, when he started getting the mushrooms, you know,
That's
the
true.
psilocybin.
Yeah. He's like, all I needed was a little bit of microdosing.
It's true. Well, that was like macro dosing, but yeah.
The timestamp is 7:17, 7:18.
Yeah, there's no
7:19.
gore in this part. It's just they were talking about it, but the timestamp is 7:24, 7:25, 7:26, 7:27. They're past. I hope they don't show us.
I don't
a flashback of it
understand
anyway.
Saru in this. I think Saru is the writers are forcing him into this decision that I don't think he would make.
You mean letting this guy free on the ship? No, I think
Yeah,
it's good. I like this. That's one of the things that I thought was finally where it was like, that's like a Star Trek move. You know what I mean? Like in terms of...
Yeah, I know, but I mean, dude.
And they did put the ankle bracelet on him. So he does that.
He killed the fucking doctor, dude. He broke the doctor's neck.
It's true. I would have put him in the brig. It's true.
It's another Girardi situation. That's exactly what it is. They do this thing where they're like, we'll trust murderers.
Is it because they're trying to say there's a difference between a murder and a crime of passion? Do you think that could be it? Like,
okay,
Girardi and this guy may have committed crimes of passion. Oh, I love this scene. Sorry, hold on.
No, less like crimes of passion and more like crimes of fucking sheer stupidity.
Don't ask questions. Put your hands up. The Admiral's coming. And Sarek.
Bend over, show me your butthole. Spread those cheeks, soldier.
It has to be the Andorian saying it, though. It's so perfect. We have 4 genders on
That's
Andoria.
not where the antenna goes.
You guys are missing parts. Oh, I never noticed that little woo 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 like accompaniment to the mind meld. That was cool.
I like how Sarek is like, fuck this, I'm gonna mind meld. Come here, motherfucker.
I can only think of that Andorian.
Man, Andy, you're made. I see everything. I have all the answers now, Admiral Cornwell. No need to go through a lot of talking now. I know it all. But this is good. It's good how, like, he got to figure it out. He's like, these guys have been on a journey of some sort.
It's cool that Sarek, the parallel between the two Sareks, like they're using Sarek in the Prime universe to also determine if people are telling the truth, just like they did in the other one. He was
it's
like,
great. It's a great convenience that I don't mind at all.
Yeah,
I think it's great. But
and it's cool to have.
Funny though. It's funny.
You know what's interesting about bringing Spock into season 2? I'm not opposed to it. I know a lot of people are like, I hate all this stuff, but I think Sarek just by himself was a strong character. But I should have seen Spock. We should have seen Spock coming. Like, if you're gonna put Sarek on the show, it's natural that you're gonna see a younger version of Spock at some point. You know what I mean?
No, Starfleet Boy. This show is gonna depend on the cast of season 1. We're not getting into that all Spock business. We're gonna make a good show.
Geek and Review says he killed a guy. PJ is right on this one. No, you can kill people like, in a moment of passion, and I don't want to be the one that dies from it. But
think about it this way. What if some dude who comes on the Enterprise fucking breaks McCoy's neck? You think people like
no, I wouldn't. That's a good way of putting it. That's a good way to.
Or Crusher.
I get what you're saying, but the thing is that like, it is weird. We'll have to talk about it more because it goes on. This is going to be a story point in season 2.
Dun dun. Now the episode continues. Oh, like,
I like that
cookies. I always hated them. I always hated those things.
I like that Cornwall does that, and I like that it's fortune
behavior
cookies.
Unbecoming of an admiral. Actually,
yeah, but I liked it. But so is sheer fucking hubris, right? that was more satisfying than sheer fucking hubris.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know what's going on with that show.
You know what's funny though? That was the fortune cookie bowl in the conference room. There's another fortune cookie bowl in his ready room because remember Pike finds the fortune cookie in the ready room? Yeah. So this guy had fortune cookies everywhere. I still want to know the connection to the family business.
Yeah, well, Prime Lorca's... I think he was putting on a front like... Maybe this will convince them that I'm Prime Lorca. If I just put fortune cookies everywhere, and if anybody asks, I'll explain my counterpart's backstory. 9 brutal months.
Oh, this is where you get this insane death count, right?
It would have been better if the computer explained all this. 9 brutal months of war.
No.
Millions dead. Federation on the brink of extinction. Black alert. Black alert.
4-5. PJ's out of control. We're doing a 2-parter.
She's basically describing how shitty the war has gone for them. It's pretty bad though.
It is pretty bad.
This was a great excuse to say that, like, the rebuilding after this would more reflect a different design in Starfleet.
Yeah, I agree. They could still do that in Strange New Worlds, I guess.
They could have done it in season 3 of Star Trek Discovery if they hadn't said, fuck this continuity shit.
I really like where they went.
Oh yeah, season 3 is decent. Hopefully,
Uh,
the show just keeps getting better before they just finally say. I think season 4 maybe a down a down point, but it's too early to tell. Really, to be honest.
Blue says I hate Girardi and Vogue. I don't consider him Tyler. And then Geek says he killed a character so popular they had to bring back Hugh and write the killer out. That's true. Good point. Oh, so that the classified and destroyed thing solves the TOS not knowing, not
Yeah.
having records of it. That's cool.
Eventually, it doesn't matter anyway because when they
Yeah,
go
because
to
the
the
whole thing.
future, I think like they erase Discovery's existence entirely. I don't know how they do that, but they kind of
It's
act
funny
like
that
Discovery's
that's
just like not wasn't even a thing in
in.
the first place.
Yeah, they just like erase it from the records. It's crazy. Not really, but it disappears. It never comes back. They,
Oh, is this the one where they grow the spores again?
yeah, I think it is.
This is why I couldn't remember it. If that is indeed the case.
You gotta save the next. If we don't, I don't know if we can do it tonight. It's getting late, but you gotta save the next one for me if you can. Which is the finale, right? That's it.
Yeah. No, no. It's 2 episodes. It's a
Oh, okay.
two-parter.
Got it. Got it.
So probably do another double bill at some point.
Woohoo! I like this this face off of the powers, the duel of the fates.
I, I found this interaction interesting. Like, just from a writer's perspective, how can you write an interesting encounter between Sarek and Mirror Giorgio and
Mm-hmm.
Prime, Prime Cornwell, with them knowing her Prime counterpart.
Right. 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 The dynamic is interesting. You're right.
Yes,
She just said it right there.
the dynamic.
Mm. I really like those.
Wait, okay, never mind. I thought there were 16 episodes in this season.
How many are there?
There are 15.
That's what I thought.
What did I think? 16. I thought. Okay, it was 14. You were right. You said at one point there were 14, then there were 15, and I said it was 15, then there was 16. So you were right. I thought
Okay.
there was 16, but they did add an extra episode at one point. Like they were only going to do 14, and they did add
Do you know
for
which
some-
episode was the extra?
For some reason, I thought "Will You Take My Hand" was a two-parter,
Hmm.
but that's probably I'm thinking season 2 was a two-parter. So
Boom.
list of Discovery episodes.
That little boom, and then an announcement. That's like super, almost exactly Battlestar Galactica.
More than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say
Oh my
that
gosh.
you loved me, because I already know.
Jill 47, we are greetings to you. If you want to sync up with us, we're at timestamp 18 minutes, 1801, 02, 03, 04, 05.
I'm in exact.
This is a good confrontation, actually.
I'm in sync with you exactly.
Nice. Do you remember? Maybe you're still human after all. I do like that Stamets has a little bit of, like, it's a little
At
bit
least
of
they gave
pity
him that
for him.
interaction. Like they had to
Yeah.
have some kind of awkward thing where Stamets was going to run into him.
And
But-
Shazad did a good job of, like, crying, I thought. There was an appropriate cry.
one of the best things about Culber dying and returning is that cafeteria scene where Culber like gets
Oh yeah, that
in
is a good
Tyler's
fight.
face. I love that scene.
Yeah,
He's like
it's true.
looking for a fight.
I like how everyone just went quiet and is staring at him.
And I'll
He's
give them credit. At least they acknowledge that there's a sense of awkwardness because it's totally understandable how people as mature as they are might be like, "Ah, oh, that's kind of weird."
bravo Tilly
The
though.
doctor who's been treating me
Your
and taking
girl.
care of me and delivered my wife's baby. Oh, that
It's
guy
tr-
over there broke his neck,
it's
but he's
true.
roaming around. You know what,
The
Saru? At least I know for time reasons, but you think Saru would have just confined him to quarters for a little bit at first, just to see if he was okay.
Maybe Saru's vindictive and
Where's
wanted
the
him
counselor?
to.
Should there not be a counselor somewhere, or like a psychologist or something?
Maybe Saru knew people would like give him the stink eye.
Shouldn't there be extensive psychological tests? Maybe they did run them. I don't know.
This is a good scene. I know he's a killer and I know like a lot of people hate him and everything
But
like that, but you have to admit it shows that these are more evolved people than we
yeah,
are today. Like, you know what I mean? Which is what Star
it's
Trek
special. Yeah, it's a special
it's
little moment.
special. Like, yeah, and it's
Um,
like that's cool. I like that.
and in all, like knowing what happens from now on, he is cured
Yeah.
to an extent. He still goes with Laurel, but he's not a bad guy anymore at this point.
Right. I
And
agree.
I think it's kind of jumping the gun that Saru just knows that, and he's is not as cautious as he should be. But I know for time's sake, they're kind of just speeding it up to the finale, I guess, because he does have to get to that point where you know he
Oh,
goes
this is
off.
sad. This hurt. I felt Cornwall's. See, it's another thing.
Yeah, it's pretty devastating.
Yeah,
I like that push in. It's like that
yeah.
long push in on her face.
And this horror sound, like music,
Yes,
like the
it's good.
it's like
See, this is why I don't dislike the show because it has little moments of just like this is well directed and the sound design is great and it's tense and it's like holy shit.
mm-hmm.
You you guys aren't getting any help now. Sorry
It's
about
all
your luck.
Klingons. It's crazy. 80,000 people on the base. That's insane.
As botched as the Klingon War storyline is, or like sidetracked almost, you could say, not botched as much, but just imagine they were like really good fucking Klingons, like the
Yeah.
kind that didn't upset people or
On that station, they're drinking blood wine and like
yes,
fighting each other.
exactly.
Like, that's the thing they didn't show us, which would have been cool to see.
You could have had one of the episodes in the later half of the season where it
It's
showed
just
some
from
of
the
the
Klingon
Klingon
perspective.
carnage. Yeah,
Yeah, like, or just do a whole Klingon episode. Why not do, like, you know what I mean? That would have been
holy shit,
interesting.
that would have been great. But
Like,
I
it
think
wouldn't have been even from the human. And maybe you would have warmed up to those Klingons then. You know what I mean? Because if you just have one good episode about the crazy looking crab Klingons, you might like them. It's
they
like,
become a little faceless toward the end, and you see them in the last episode though.
yeah.
You see the two streams, so to speak, which I don't understand why they did that.
Poor Katrina.
It's like we're gonna take it a step further. It's like why he already took it like 5 steps further.
Oh my gosh, this is the longest pause. And then it kind of goes
Look at the
from black
side look at the side view of her head is ridiculous. It
You
looks like she
have
has
been.
hair like kind of like if you didn't know if it was a skull in the shadow, you'd
I
think it
will
was like hair
never give you
bunched up.
my secrets. I love this exchange, actually. This is an
I
aspect
can
I
barely
off.
move under this mask. I must be super expressive for you to understand what I'm saying.
I do like the acting in this scene a lot. Jill says they should not have killed Cornwall. What a waste for that crap finale. I agree. Cornwall is an amazing character, and I would have liked her to
It,
continue
it
into
actually
Strange
would.
New Worlds.
Yeah, actually, that's true. It would have been great to have the possibility of Cornwell showing up, but Mirror Cornwell could show up.
Oh, true, true.
Mm. Dun, dun, dun.
This is interesting that I forget that she's an extremist, that she's a Takuvmaist. You know, they're like a cult, those Klingons. And this scene reminded me of that. She like literally thinks of Takuvma as the second coming of Kalis. Kalis returns in me. PJ, this is
Andana
Takuvma's
poo.
ghost.
Rampana poo.
See, like
They're the following that they have and this whole thing with Kuma is flimsy and weak at best. It's like all the things she's saying are just like bullshit rhetoric that really has no basis in reality. And Cuomo's like, you fuck guys are just crazy killers going around like
yeah,
doing
that's
whatever.
what I'm saying. This
Like,
was a
you
good.
have no purpose.
This is what could have changed Laurel a little bit because she changes as a character, and maybe her reign.
She gets a little work done.
Yeah, she's like, you could tell she doubts. That's a good thing about, again, Mary Chieffo is such a good actor that through all that makeup she can kind of express all these things.
And you know what? Even if Laurel doesn't return in Strange New Worlds, goddamn, give her a role as a human.
Yeah, Mary Chieffo
or
definitely
anything.
anything.
Preferably
come
a
back,
Klingon that looks like
Next, she should be an Andorian.
Just imagine her as, you know, like the way she looks in real life as a Nicholas Meyer style Star Trek 6 Klingon. It would work so fucking well.
So well. I think
she's a big
good
woman. Like she's actually like, I think she's over 6 feet, and she's got a build. Like she can actually, you can actually buy her as a Klingon woman, because Klingon women aren't, well, traditionally from what we've seen her.
She
They're
has
equal to the men. You know what I mean? In
look
terms
at her
of
again.
power.
Look at her again. She has an. I know she's very tall, but she has an oddly petite frame compared to other tall women that I've seen.
I think she has broad shoulders. The shoulders can sell it.
Perhaps, but she's
she looks like a physically strong woman. You know what I mean? Like in real life.
I have to look at her. Yeah, maybe she does. I mean, women are strong, you know, and you could have strength without muscles. So
Jesus, Starfleet Boy, she's not Kate Moss. No,
she's not Kate. What?
Kate Moss.
Kate Moss. She's
No, right.
definitely not Kate Moss. Oh my gosh, could you imagine Kate Moss as a Klingon? Why did you bring me here? Truly.
All the other Klingons would be like, there are no meat on your bones. Are you starving?
She was starving. Remember Laurel and oh, that's right. They were starving, both Laurel and Vogue, for a little while.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they showed it in the
In
makeup
the third
on their
episode, I
face.
think.
Yeah. I feel it every day of my life.
The Klingons. So she knows like the deal, how to defeat these Klingons. And her suggestion is, you blow up the world. You just you do them dirty, and you go to where they live, and you just blow it the fuck up. And you know what? At that point in the war, I know it's a hard thing to say, but that's not an unreasonable option. It's not an option you should take.
Mean, after look, they've killed.
You
yeah.
should at least consider that.
Yeah, and they're desperate. I mean, like they're practically at. They're practically at Earth.
If they don't do something.
Yeah, it's true. It explains Captain Kirk's hatred for the Klingons too, which is interesting. Like, imagine how many people lost, like relatives, like lots of Kirks, or his mother. I forgot her maiden name, but lots of the family of his, you know, his ancestors, or even he was a lieutenant around this time, or like younger. Maybe he was in the academy. He could have lost a ton of friends, so it would explain.
Mister was killed. He couldn't give me all he could muster.
My friend Mister was killed. Give me all you can muster, Mister. Oh my god! But you know what I'm saying, right?
So many people.
Like
in
this
the Klingon War.
In a way, you know, from a exposition perspective, it explains a lot of like Kirk's prejudices.
Klingon bastards. Kill my son. What am I gonna do, Spock? Damn it, Jim, get a hold of yourself. I don't know. I can't do them all.
Oh, this is cool. More information on Kronos.
Isn't there a spelling error coming up in this?
Oh yeah, I wonder if it's still gonna be there. What was it? Do you remember what it was?
It's supposed to say simulation, but it says simultation.
Simultation. Let's see if they fix it.
Oh God, no! They probably don't even know it's there.
No, come on. That was like
No, and
I remember it was a big deal.
I'm pretty sure like they have no idea it was even there. Like to this day, because who talks about it? Nobody talks about the spelling error in episode 14 of season 1 of Star Trek Discovery. I remember it being mentioned by somebody once back when it aired. I was like, I was like, yeah, you're wrong about that, and I checked it myself. I was like, oh no, it's not a trick. I thought they were trying to trick me. Like, there's an obvious spelling error in Star Trek Discovery. This show sucks. I'm like, you suck. I think you're wrong. And I'm gonna fact check you. Oh, you're right. Shit.
This is cool. Like on paper, what they wrote was amazing. Like the fact that they have to grow these mushrooms. But I disagree with the tone of the scene. Like it's just too intense. Like it should have been more fun. This is like an opportunity to insert a little bit of that what was it? Jovialness that we were talking about earlier.
Joviality.
Joviality. This episode is better than what I remembered, and you guys are nerds in the nicest way possible. LOL.
Ramu. Federation sample point. I'm trying to read the things on the map.
That's a cool little puppet. The mycelia.
Holben. There's a place called Holben. Burma. Do not confuse my ward with yours.
Sound familiar?
Kak, you have his kacha.
I know. I wish there was a little more of that in James Frayne, but I love James Frayne.
James Frayne makes it his own. He doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't
totally
rely
make it
on
his
Mark
own.
Leonard's performance.
No,
at all.
I know, but like I kind of wanted a little bit of it.
The stoic spirit of the characters there, I suppose. Like he's.
You know, in Star Trek
He's
4,
very Vulcan.
You know that in Star Trek 4, how they did that one scene where McCoy is off camera and he's reading the sensor readings, and they just basically used Leonard Nimoy's voice, and they dubbed it in the ADR, and everyone turns around and is shocked because he did such a good impression of Spock, like his voice. Do you remember that?
Who's to say that DeForest Kelley didn't do a really good impression of Leonard Nimoy?
From what I could tell, that was definitely Leonard Nimoy, but you're right. It could have been DeForest Kelley.
You know what's a funny thing about that? People say it's like they dub Leonard Nimoy's voice. There's 2 times that happens in the movie where you hear
when he goes
you hear Leonard Nimoy, but it's actually DeForest Kelley. I can imagine, because every time I listen to him, like, it does sound like him, but it sounds a bit like DeForest Kelley.
You're talking about the scene where he's like, Jim, take me to Mount Salea. I do think they're messing around with sound. Jim. That one. Jim.
That sounds like McCoy and Spock. Jim.
Yeah, I think they're messing around where they're doing both lines. There's some sound stuff going on in that.
Some psychological manipulation.
Or or you're right. DeForest Kelley could have been really great at doing that. Did you ever see Where the Heart Is, Starfleet Boy? No, I have. What is Where the Heart Is? Is that Babylon 5 episode? What's that? Oh, it is. It is in my chest. It's true.
Oh, there's a movie called Where the Heart Is?
Check it out.
Let's look that up. Where the Heart Is.
I like how Michael speaks more formally around Sarek. She's already like loosening up.
Oh, it's a romantic comedy starring Natalie Portman, Ashley Judd, and Stockard Channing.
Oh, does it have to do with like someone getting a transplant? Oh, it's the chick flick where I discovered James Frayne. That's awesome. I'm gonna go watch that just because because you discovered James Frain in it.
Oh yes, he is in it as well.
That's awesome. I can't remember. I knew James
The
Frain
film
from
received mostly
before
negative
this, but I can't
reviews.
remember where from. Mostly negative reviews.
Well, it's a rom-com, so you can't expect it to be loved by critics.
James Frain's done a lot of dodgy TV in the '90s in the UK.
I
I
think
knew
they
him
go
from
too far
something,
with
but I
his
can't remember.
ears. I don't know what it is. I don't think the ears look as good
Really?
as previous. I don't
Previous,
know.
well,
I'm
they're like a
nitpicking.
little
It's a
sticky
nitpick.
outy, right? Is that what you're thinking? Maybe.
Yeah, they're a little phony looking, even though technically they're blended perfectly to his skull. I mean, it looks like they're attached. It just, I don't know.
I think
Something
we have
about
to
it.
look at James Frain. I'm gonna pull up a picture. Maybe he has sticky outy ears.
I think I'm more speaking about the texture.
Gotcha.
I don't know. They've never. I guess it's hard to do ears
They did
realistic
something to Romulans
because
and Picard where they added
light
like
shines through
ridges.
them. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
and they have a certain. Not all
But
the
remember,
time,
they
but
did something with the Romulans and Picard where they added ridges to the Romulans' ears. That was new.
yeah, yeah. I gotta give Picard credit for makeup design and stuff.
I wish we were doing a Picard watch long, but maybe we'll do it on Starfleet Boy After Dark.
Uh,
Trek Lad already did one, so maybe you have to wait a couple of years.
yeah, he's like, I can't believe I'm doing this again. Why am I watching this show? What's
I hate
wrong with
Picard,
me?
but I have to watch it because Starfleet Boy loves it. And there's a lot of Starfleet Boys out there.
Like, what am I doing with my life? No, that's not what he sounds like.
Michael, forgive us, please, if you hear this.
Sorry about that, mate. No, that's. I'm getting like.
You're allowed to do it a
I'm
little
jumping
more
all
than
over
I
the
am.
globe now with that shit. Like, went down to Australia all of a sudden.
This is a nice scene too. I like this between Tilly and I'm with Burnham on this. Like, I think her instincts are correct. Like, Tyler does not need me, and I don't need Tyler. Like,
Yeah.
get him the fuck away from me. He just tried to kill me,
Yeah, really.
and he
right?
killed my friend.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's like, I would have liked Burnham to be a little more vocal. Like, the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, what is wrong with you people? This motherfucker choked me out fucking 2 weeks ago and almost killed me. And killed the fucking doctor. Like, what are you, crazy?
I mean, there is, see, like, they don't give Girardi this. Well, they kind of do with the mind meld, but there is a sympathy aspect because Tyler was not Tyler. Like, he was this weird fusion Klingon thing. And with Girardi, she was like probably being mind controlled by what's her name, Commodore O.
No, she wasn't being mind controlled.
I think so. I think there's evidence that like the Vulcan mind meld traumatized her in some way, and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it did something to her, yeah, but
yeah, it like fucked
but-
her up, So that's what I'm saying.
it's,
Is like,
no, I mean, you know what? Yeah, I know, but it's when you look back on the show, it was she had a plan to go with Picard. She went in there and saved, killed the last Romulan right at the right time, and it was all very, very premeditated. And when
That part,
and
like,
when
she wanted-
and when she gets to the point where she actually does it, for whatever reason that is not actually explained in the show at all, it's not actually explained. That there's a very good reason in her mind you're seeing through her because she deeply regrets doing it. Like, she doesn't want to do her. I mean, she doesn't want to do him in or whatever. She doesn't want to do her.
it's whatever she saw. The admonition made her insane.
That's what I'm saying.
This is great.
But it's so ambiguous and blurry as to like her motives that nobody gives a shit why she did it. It's like, why are you trusting this insane person? That's the basic gist of it. It's like,
Look, that's an homage to the Enterprise crashing in Star Trek
and
3.
in this, the fact that Volk did the bad stuff, right? We as an
Yeah.
audience pretty much know this by now, right? We know this as an audience that it's all good. We're being shown that it's all good. Of course, people are going to have their reservations about him, but just from a narrative point of view, it's just like it's forcing the cast to trust him too early, too quickly. It's Saru not confining him to quarters first before he lets him roam around the ship.
This is
And
all
yes,
beautiful.
They try
by the
their
way, all this
best.
stuff.
They try their best to flesh it out with the run-in with Stamets, and visually, all of this is so fucking uninteresting. It looks like shit.
Really?
Oh
This
yeah,
is
it
what
looks.
this is one of the things that saved Star Trek Discovery in my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, they're finally doing science. Finally, after like 13 episodes or 14 episodes, they're doing science stuff. Like
I'll
they're
give you that.
growing.
Yeah, that's a
You
good.
know what I mean?
That's a good
Like,
point. But yeah,
yeah, it was like finally, it was like such an inspiring. I loved this moment. This
it
was like one of the coolest moments in the
it's
whole show, the
it just
series.
looks to me like cutting between live action plates and animated like
Yeah, I
cheap
get that the
animated
effects
movies.
are not that great, but what I'm saying is like, yeah, the subject matter was. I was happy about that. But you're right. The effects are meh.
I like the idea of this is what you got to do to grow some mycelium, and people will argue, oh, this is so magical and out there. I'm
Look, and
like,
she's
but
even,
this
yeah,
is Star
she's
Trek.
like,
This is the kind of stuff
this
that
is the kind of stuff
this
you
is the stuff
love.
that
Yeah.
sci-fi does, where you don't understand really how it's happening. It's just happening. You'd go with
Right.
it, and depending on how realistic it looks, I mean, you can nitpick it like, oh, this looks
And
terrible.
look at all those spores. Look at all that LSD. They're about to.
Cartoons completely rendered. I mean, 50% rendered.
This scene is only 85% rendered. We ran out of time. I do love, and Admiral Cornwall is such a good leader. I love her as the captain of the Discovery. You know what I mean? Like as the
Insufficient
commander of
funds for
Discovery.
additional
She's
special
so good.
effects.
I'm getting like the goosebumps for that scene. Now this is where I'm like, okay, I don't care.
And I hit the time of my
Time of my
life.
life.
She runs
Never
to him and
felt
he
this
picks her up
way.
and then he throws her against the wall and he fucking kills her.
Never.
I would not be in the
felt
same
this
room
way.
as him. I would not do it.
I would have walked in with a phaser at least. She's got like nothing. Again, just showing how future people are more evolved than we are. Cornwell.
And she
Did I
could
say
defend herself,
Cornwall?
I mean, at this
Sorry.
point, I mean,
I keep
she's
saying Cornwall, but it's Cornwell. It's true.
Cornwell. At least
They
her
should
name
have
is not
called her
Cornhole.
Admiral. They should have called her Admiral Cornfed.
Cornfed, yeah.
She's got those corn-fed Midwestern ideals. The music's nice in this scene.
I'm gonna have to break up with you now.
Why is he even arguing? He should be like, "I'm so sorry."
There's an
You're
imbalance
right.
in acting talent here. Sonequa Martin Green is very
Is
good and
phenomenal,
believable,
yeah, she
and then
is,
he's
yeah.
not as believable. I know I pick on him so much.
Well, not just that. I'm sorry, but the material's wrong. I think that he should just be apologizing and being sorry, and he's trying to defend himself.
And you know, he's not much better in season 2. Like that part where he says to Cole Shaw, he's like, "Remove the paint," and it's like, how could you say a line that badly? And why did they
I don't
use
remember
that
that.
take?
I have to
Why
see
did they do like 50 takes and he just said it the same way every time and you couldn't figure it out? It's
I
weird.
have to
It's
see
weird.
I have to see Shazad Latif in something not where he's in his native accent to see if he's a better actor in his native accent. Because I do think that sometimes when you're trying to like he doesn't come across as exactly like, you know, Seattleite, that region to me. You know what I mean?
Maybe if you saw him, he's actually in I forget the name of the show. It's that horror show with Frankenstein and stuff. Josh Hartnett is in it. It was only on for a couple of seasons. It's got like, Jesus, I gotta look that up now. Because you don't see that dude, Josh Hartnett, in many things, and this is the only TV show I ever saw him in. And I forget the name of it. Penny Dreadful.
I had such a huge crush
Penny
on Josh
Dreadful.
Hartnett in the
Penny
90s. Is
Dreadful,
that when he
thank you.
appeared?
Yes, Shazad Latif is in that. I can't remember him because I think I watched the first half of the first season. Yeah, but it could be the case where he's like, oh my god, he's a fantastic actor when he sounds like a British person.
He might be. That's what I'm saying. Like it could, like if I were an actor and I had to do like, let's just say like a Australian accent, like I know I would not be able to act as well. I would actually like try to convince the director to let me use my native accent.
Yeah, I would fuck it up.
Fag it up.
Yeah, he plays Dr. Jekyll in the show Penny Dreadful.
Mr. Hyde.
Yes, Dr. Jekyll.
This guy plays Dr. Shazad Latif plays Dr. Jekyll?
Yes.
Another dual character? Are you saying he was typecast? Maybe he was hired to do a dual. You know what I mean? Because there's a Jekyll and Hyde aspect to Vogue
Yeah.
and Tyler, right?
So this entire conversation between the two of them has been.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about Jekyll and Hyde and everything else.
It's like tears. Every time I see tears in Discovery now, I blank out.
Like his facial expressions are good. I feel like he's a good facial actor. You know what I mean? I do think maybe he's
He's a
suffering.
good facial actor.
He gives great facials.
Oh my goodness.
Shazad Latif is listening to this and throwing things at the TV right now. Fuck those guys. I hate them, Starfleet Boy.
I don't like that PJ. He's a bloody cunt, he is.
We don't even know what his real accent sounds like. It could be
He
that.
sounds like this.
Does
Just
he really?
fucking like it. I don't know. That's pretty bad. The spore harvest is underway. Soon the children of the corn will rise.
It's such a different experience being in sync. Like, I love that when you say things, I'm like, oh yeah, that just happened at the same time as PJ said it. We have no choice. See? You were right. Our very existence hangs in the balance. This was like
It
a
must have went through the phrase book of movie phrases. Hangs in the balance. Fate of all mankind.
human, not mankind, of all Federation kind, whatever.
They are without honor. These are the most honorless Klingons that ever
Klingons.
existed.
But not from their perspective.
I don't know. Even from, I wish there was some comment later in some point where they talk about these type of Klingons, like, oh, remember those crazy ugly motherfuckers
Well,
that
this
like
is
went
something.
buck
Yeah.
wild and took over and basically made a bad name out of Klingons and had
This
no
is
honor.
really dark, but I mean, Strange New Worlds could explore the genocide of these types of Klingons. And that would explain why they no longer exist. Like, you know what I mean? And that would be a really tough subject, but it kind of would be dark, but also kind of relevant because genocide still happens in real life, and I think it is relevant. So who knows? Like, and how compounded would it be that so many fans hate those Klingons, so we all feel so bad if all of a sudden it was like a genocide story for those Klingons.
This was crazy, but it gets
Yeah, this is
awkward.
nuts.
It gets awkward in the next episode.
Look how mad Burnham. Burnham's like pissed. Everyone else is like excited. Oh my god.
Wishikun doesn't look too impressed. She's like, who's this? I've never met this woman. I don't trust her.
Well, she must be like, why isn't Giorgio making eye contact with us, and why doesn't she know who we are? But you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I want to see Core too, Jill. Um, Look at her. She's so pleased. This is kind of like, I could see why Saru and Burnham are pissed, because it's like, you know, using like injecting yourself with the venom to win, you know, but they are desperate. That was great.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Measures.
Indubitably.
Audience, what did you think of this episode? Tell us.
It's definitely better than the one that follows. They're not good at endings so far.
It's true.
Except with Lower Decks. Lower Decks is the shining star.
I sent you a message in the private chat. Jill, Geek, and Blue, if you're still there, let us know what you thought of... meh. It's a meh episode.
Do you want to finish off the season tonight?
Let's do it. If the audience is down too, come on, join us. We're gonna do the next one. Do we do like a shorter break this time, like 10 minutes, or
All
do
right,
you want to do another 15-minute break?
15-minute.
Audience in 15 minutes, we're gonna finish Star Trek Discovery season 1. I'm excited, actually.
All right.
I'm a completionist, and that like nerds me out. So.
I'll set that up and I'll send you the link.
All right, yay, sweet. Geek and Review will be back. Hopefully, Blue and Jill might have time too. All right, we'll see you.